Yoga, meditation, veganism, rewritten through a cultural lens. In the quiet pulse of dawn, a new movement stirs within Black communities across America. It is a renaissance of health, a reclaiming of power, a profound declaration that wellness is not just a personal journey, but a collective liberation. For centuries, Black bodies have been subjected to forces that sought to diminish, to dehumanize, to disconnect from the sacred rhythms of self-care. Yet, today, a resurgence blossoms, rooted in history, nourished by resilience, and blossoming into a tapestry of healing arts reimagined through the prism of Black identity. This is the new Black wellness movement, where ancestral wisdom meets modern practice, forging a path toward empowerment, vitality, and cultural affirmation. The story begins long before the present moment, tracing back to African traditions where health was intertwined with spirituality, community, and balance. In many African societies, healing was holistic. Herbs from the earth, rituals under the sun, songs that mended the soul. But the transatlantic slave trade severed these roots, scattering people across oceans and continents, forced into a world hostile to their well-being. Yet in the shadows of oppression, the spirit of wellness persisted quietly, a whispered truth passed down through generations. The new Black wellness movement revives these ancestral echoes, intertwining them with contemporary practices like yoga and meditation, not as borrowed traditions, but as reclaimed vessels of strength and healing. In urban centers and rural enclaves alike, Black yoga instructors and wellness advocates are redefining what it means to inhabit the body with dignity and grace. They challenge the narrow narratives that have long excluded Black voices from wellness spaces often dominated by whiteness and privilege. Through studios, community centers, and digital platforms, these pioneers cultivate environments where Black bodies are seen, honored, and celebrated. Yoga is no longer a foreign discipline, but a language of liberation, meditation a sanctuary from the noise of systemic injustice. The movement shifts focus from mere physical flexibility to emotional resilience, from individual achievement to collective uplift. This renaissance extends beyond the mat. Veganism too is reimagined. It sheds the stereotypes of elitism and detachment, embracing instead a philosophy deeply rooted in the survival strategies of enslaved ancestors. Historical records reveal that enslaved Africans often subsisted on limited, plant-based diets, finding nourishment in the land despite brutal conditions. Today's Black vegan activists draw from this legacy, blending culinary innovation with cultural pride. Their kitchens become laboratories of healing, combining traditional African ingredients with modern nutritional science, crafting menus that honor both body and history. The choice to eat plant-based is, for many, an act of resistance against food deserts and the predatory practices of industrialized food systems. The new Black wellness movement is also a response to the disproportionate health disparities affecting Black communities. Higher rates of hypertension, diabetes, and mental health challenges exacerbated by systemic inequities. Wellness becomes a radical act of self-preservation and defiance. Meditation circles and breathwork sessions offer sanctuaries where trauma is acknowledged and transformed. Herbalists and holistic healers reclaim plant wisdom, blending it with contemporary medicine to create integrative approaches to health. This movement rejects the idea that Black pain must be endured silently. Instead, it amplifies the message that healing is a right, a responsibility, and a communal journey. The voices leading this movement often carry the weight of personal narrative, stories of overcoming illness, reclaiming identity, and finding empowerment through wellness. Women, in particular, emerge as powerful architects of this renaissance. They hold space for healing, nurture community bonds, and challenge the stereotypes that have long constrained Black femininity. Their leadership is a testament to the intersection of health and social justice, where care for self is inseparable from care for the collective. Through workshops, retreats, and social media, they weave networks of support that transcend geographic boundaries, cultivating a global sisterhood rooted in resilience and hope. Education is a cornerstone of the movement. Wellness practitioners invest in teaching not only techniques, but also the historical and cultural contexts of health. They illuminate the stories of Black healers erased from mainstream narratives, midwives, herbalists, and spiritual leaders, whose knowledge sustained communities through centuries of hardship. By reclaiming these histories, the movement builds bridges between past and present, grounding modern practices in a lineage of wisdom. This educational mission empowers individuals to see wellness not as a trend, but as a sacred inheritance, a continuous thread linking ancestors to descendants. A visual landscape of this wellness renaissance reflects its depth and diversity. Studios adorned with African art and symbols, meditation spaces infused with the scent of sage and frankincense, communal gardens growing indigenous plants. Each element speaks to a holistic experience. This aesthetic is more than decoration. It is a reclamation of cultural identity, a visual affirmation that wellness is intimately tied to heritage. Music, too, plays a vital role. Rhythms that echo the heartbeat of African drums, chants that awaken the spirit, melodies that soothe and inspire. The arts become therapeutic tools, weaving creativity into the fabric of healing. Technology amplifies the movement's reach, connecting dispersed communities through virtual yoga classes, online meditation forums, and digital cookbooks celebrating Black vegan cuisine. Social media platforms become vibrant spaces where stories of transformation circulate, inspiring others to embark on their own wellness journeys. Yet, this digital expansion remains grounded in the movement's core values: authenticity, inclusivity, and cultural accountability. It resists commodification, insisting that wellness cannot be separated from the realities of racial justice and equity. The new Black wellness movement, thus, navigates the intersection of tradition and innovation, community and individuality. The movement also confronts mental health stigma head-on, challenging cultural taboos that have long silenced conversations about depression, anxiety, and trauma. By centering Black emotional well-being, it opens pathways for healing that honor the whole person. Healing circles, therapy groups, and peer support networks emerge as vital spaces where vulnerability is met with compassion. This embrace of mental health care is revolutionary, dismantling barriers that have historically prevented access and recognition. It asserts that the mind and spirit are as deserving of care as the body, embracing a truly holistic vision of wellness. As the new Black wellness movement grows, its impact ripples outward, influencing public health policies, educational curricula, and cultural narratives. It sparks dialogues about environmental justice, acknowledging that healing the body is inseparable from healing the planet. Community gardens replace vacant lots, clean food initiatives combat toxic exposure, and wellness programs integrate ecological stewardship. This expanded vision frames health as a multidimensional justice issue, weaving together the threads of race, environment, and well-being. Through this lens, the movement transcends individual transformation, becoming a catalyst for systemic change. The movement's future is shaped by the youth, dynamic, visionary, and deeply connected to both heritage and innovation. Young Black leaders blend activism with wellness, creating spaces that are inclusive and empowering. They challenge the status quo, insisting that wellness is not a luxury, but a birthright. Their creativity fuels new expressions of health, from hip-hop yoga flows to digital detox retreats infused with ancestral storytelling. In their hands, the movement is not only preserved but reimagined, a living, breathing testament to resilience and hope. The new Black wellness movement, vibrant and evolving, continues to write its story, one of healing, empowerment, and radical love. Yoga, meditation, veganism, no longer distant concepts but languages of liberation spoken fluently within Black communities. The new Black wellness movement stands as a beacon illuminating the path from survival to thriving, from fragmentation to wholeness. It honors the past, embraces the present, and shapes a future where health is inseparable from identity and justice. In this renaissance, wellness is revolution, a profound reclaiming of self, a collective rising rooted in history and reaching toward the horizon of possibility. Here, the body becomes a temple, the mind a sanctuary, and the soul a testament to enduring strength. This has been Roots Renaissance. See you in the next chapter.